Kings hit the court, watch the magic go down. In the Kings court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the Kings shining star. Expect the unexpected, this is where it's at. From NBA insights to the latest chit-chat. Grab your popcorn, sit tight, we're ready to roll. In the heart of Sacktown, we're feeding your soul. In the Kings court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the Kings shining star. With the NFL, Adams in the ring. Ryno's got the wisdom, hear the praises we sing. Court in session, it's a royal affair. With the fans all around, feel the passion in the air. In the Kings court, the vibe's electric. If you don't like that, we're here to correct it. With the best in the game, we're raising the bar. From the hardwood to the airways, we're the Kings shining star.
Give it to me again!
I come to you
again!
Give it to me again. A third Summer League title. That would be pretty cool. I come to you, the hardest of the hardcores. What's up? A Sunday night, the Kings getting ready to play for their third Summer League title against a very hot Charlotte Hornets team. A Kings team that has been fairly consistent. You can argue two of their, probably, if you had to put or choose two games that were the worst, probably last game and the game before that, just because of the Kings' fourth quarter. So Coach Dip always says that he likes to keep the turnovers right around 15. Going into the third quarter against Toronto, the Kings had 10 turnovers for 18 points. The fourth quarter, they had 10 turnovers for 14 points. But the important thing is they still found a way to win. Conversely, their opponent tonight, Charlotte, last two games, they beat two of the four top teams in Summer League. San Antonio by 29 and the Thunder by 25. So we'll get into it as the show goes along. We'll dig through, and yeah, they are playing for some pretty rings. There's some pretty rings, man. How about that? I'll take one of those.
Woo!
So check those out. I said before Summer League started, this is a Sacramento Kings team this summer that should be towards the finals. I actually said the floor for the Kings this summer was the semifinals of Summer League. And yes, I understand Summer League doesn't mean a damn thing. Doesn't mean you're moving into the top 6 in the West next year. But why I'm here and doing a pregame for this, and I think a lot of you have been around the Kings court. You might be tuning in right now for the first time, but many of you have been here before. And one of the big things that I have focused on with this team the last 2 or 3 years has been player development. Drafting, scouting, and developing talent, not just the names that you hear during the NBA draft, but the names that you don't, like Isaac Jones, like Keon Ellis. And this is a perfect example of the Kings, even if they don't win tonight, but if they do end up winning Summer League, which would be then right on the heels of a G League championship, I've been saying for the past couple of years, the Kings are a top 5 player development team. They are. This shows that. And to be fair, the Kings are not the only team that has second-year guys playing in Summer League. Now, the Kings definitely are going for this. They're not holding people back. Nate Clifford, I understand some places have him as the best rookie of Summer League. Take it with a grain of salt. I am excited about Nate Clifford, as all of you. But Cooper Flagg, if you see Nate Clifford over Cooper Flagg, hit that salt, hit that lime, and then take a sip of the beer. because Cooper only played 2 games. And Neek, coming off of his worst game against Toronto, I got to believe that they're going to bounce back. I really do. And a couple wild cards in this one, which we'll dive into as the hour goes along, is Devin Carter. What are you going to get from Devin Carter? If Devin Carter's shot is not on, he has not been able to find it as the game goes along. So are you looking for a little bit of the reduced shots from Devin? Are you looking for better shot selection if he misses his first 4? Isaac Jones, you going to feed the big man? I haven't even said Con Knippel's name. Con Knippel is a stud. In fact, I would argue, although they are different positions, Con Knippel, well, they're kind of the same position technically. Con can play the 3. Con Knippel is a Nate Clifford, very different in terms of athleticism, but he does what Neek does at a higher level. And you'll see that tonight. He played with Cooper Flagg. He played at Duke. There's a reason he was a top 5 pick in this draft. In fact, he didn't fall below 3. He was 3 for Charlotte. So anyways, we'll get into it. We'll talk about the stats. We'll listen to some audio from after yesterday's game. Shout out to Mace for playing through that pain. You could see he was uncomfortable, yet he still shot, I believe, 3 for 5 from the field. But I want to hear from all of you. How you feeling about tonight? Are the Kings going to win this one? Are they going to bring home their league record, 3rd summer league title? Again, doesn't make a big difference with the grand scheme of things. I think Neek and Max help the morale because you've got something to look forward to. But the Kings still, they will be towards the bottom of the West when the West rankings come out. But again, with this CBA, to show that your player development is this strong, and I would much rather be in the Kings locker room than I would Charlotte's locker room. You got Stockton Kings that just won the championship in there. You remember Mace, how big of a leader he was on that. You got John Elmore, who's only played a couple of minutes. He's being loose. He's having fun yesterday at practice.
Championship. We're here. We're ready. We're locked in. Bunch of dogs.
Hold on. Does that make John Elmore a dog? Do we have another dog in the Kings court? Anyways, let's get to your comments, your reaction. And I know that I do know a few of you are holding some tickets that matter to tonight. Somebody reached out and said they got the Kings at plus 8,000 before Summer League started. So respect to you. Good luck to you. What do the blackjack dealers do? It's like a tap or something on the table. Just a little tap to all of you that might be holding that ticket. The question is, do you have to go back to Vegas to cash that ticket? How does that work? BJ, let's go Shitbirds. Indeed. If you are new to the Kings Court, Jerry Reynolds comes on with us every Tuesday, and he has coined players that cause a little bit of mayhem, don't really give a bleep. He's coined them shitbirds. So that is not something that we made up. That is straight from the man himself, Jerry Reynolds.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Rock, what's up, dude? Dave Fox is in the house. Haven't seen that name in a minute. What's up, Dave? Let's be the first to get 3 Summer League championships. Go Kings. Yes, indeed. Rock already pre-ordered my Sacramento Kings Summer League championship gear banner. Can you do that? Like, I've always wondered. I think we know what happens with that gear, but how do they do that for Summer League? Like with the playoffs, you can like get to the NBA Finals and have enough time to print that stuff off. How does that work for Summer League? It's got to be limited, like 12 caps. Like, well, you got to have more than 12 caps. I don't know, 20 shirts, 20 caps per team. Interesting. Appreciate that, Dennis. What do we have here? I don't know what you're talking about. Rock hopping back in. Sacramento Kings of Summer League championships. 3rd time. It would be the 3rd time if the Kings end up winning this one. More impressive to me is it speaks to the guys they developed. Mason Jones, different dude before he came to Sacramento. Not saying that he wasn't a very good basketball player. He obviously was. Changed his body, changed his approach, changed his game. Finals MVP in the G League. leads them to a championship. For those that have not heard, some of our favorite audio around here is Mace, and it kind of gives you a little idea of what he really kind of brought to that locker room and brought to that team. So I desperately search for the sound clip right now. We'll get that up in a second. Want to keep getting your guys' reactions. See, my drops moved around because some of y'all sent me new drops. That's what it is. Normally I know where everything is at. And now I'm like, where's my man Mace? I can't find Mace. There's Mace.
We won the game, but we made history. That's the biggest thing. Man,
What's
that's
up,
the biggest
Mike?
thing. They call me Mike Dicker. Hey, hold on. Let me give y'all a reason. Hey, they call me Mike Dicker. Yes, sir. Because I push them hard every day. And some days they'll fight me back. Some days they'll be like, why you on me so hard? Because Tom's like this. And now, I was on IC ass all year. He come through the last 2 games. I was on TT ass all year. He came through all year. I was on Dex ass all year. That nigga came through all year. And what do we are? We champs. Let's go home.
You know Mace is bringing that energy tonight. You know that. I want Neek to win Summer League MVP. Yeah, well, finals MVP. Probably will. Well, actually, let me rethink that. If Neek has a good game tonight, you would go over body of work. He got into foul trouble. Remember, this is a big difference, and you probably learned it if you watched the game yesterday. Before you got to the semifinals, players could have 10 fouls. 10 fouls. Or the teams. Was it the teams or the players could have 10? Anyways, there was a higher amount of fouls, and so Neek got into foul trouble a little bit early, just couldn't really get himself going. But he kind of came around, made a shot or two. If Isaac Jones has another big game, if you're only going by the semis and the finals, you might have to look that way too, as crazy as it sounds. So, and he had a massive day yesterday. And here's the question I'll pose to you. So when we go through the stats and we go through Charlotte's roster, I've been kind of looking at it and I'm like, who's going to get the assignment on Con Knipple? I don't think it's Max. It can't be Max. Max ain't moving his feet like that yet. I think Neek is going to get some time on Con, and Con's going to be bigger than Neek. But I think you're also going to get some IJ there too. The Kings I think they have a little bit of a size advantage in this one. I think they're deeper as well. But that Con Knipple matchup's interesting because if you were with us on Friday, I said and I tweeted it out as well. I said the key to beating Toronto was getting out to an early start. You got to jump on them. Their net rating for their time in Vegas was -21 through all of their first quarters. So all first quarters combined, they were a -21. After that, they were overwhelmingly positive. And you saw that is exactly how the game played out. The Kings hopped on them, and then they came back. This is a different style of game. I don't think Charlotte has shown the ability to play behind well. I think you could get Charlotte to fold up their tent and go home. Now, they're not going to give up completely, guys. They're going to keep playing Con. They might get hot and make some shots. Charlotte is quite the opposite. Charlotte's the team that's going to want to get up on you. So how are the Kings going to handle that? Again, the last 2 games, Charlotte beat San Antonio by 25 and then 29 yesterday. This is also the Kings' first back-to-back in Vegas, for what it's worth. They should be well rested. 40-minute quarters or 40-minute games, it shouldn't matter. It matters to a guy like Mace, probably, because he's a little banged up. But when is Mace never not banged up? Flores, and I mean that respectfully because he plays through everything. What's the real point of Summer League? It's exactly what I kind of started the show with. It is an opportunity for guys it's an opportunity for scouts around the league and even international scouts as well to come look at the guys that weren't part of the draft for the most part. Who are guys that we might want to bring into the G League? who are guys that we might want to send overseas, or maybe an overseas team wants to grab him, maybe not NBA ready. Conversely, it is the player's chance to try out. I mean, summer league's not made other than the first game for the top pick. They're traditionally only going to play a couple of games. So it's really about getting now with this CBA, with your 3 two-ways, it's about seeing what you have with those 2 ways. And quite frankly, Isaiah Stevens was incredible yesterday, handling that pressure in the fourth quarter that Devin Carter could not. I saw Brendan Nunes. What's up, Brendan? If this gets back to you, tweeted out a stat that Isaiah Stevens is 11-0 in Summer League. Interesting. The Kings are 2.5-point favorites tonight for what it's worth. You can mail in the ticket. I don't know if I am like risking mailing that thing in. And okay? Gambling at a federal level is illegal, right? They've kept it to the states. So if you send it registered mail, you can't insure it because that's federal, right, Patrick? Let me know, Patrick. I think I got that right. Let's go Kings indeed, Mike. What's up, man? That's Mike. He's the mix of Tom Brady and was it John Cena? What's up, dude? It's been a minute. So let's go through the numbers really quick. Again, Kings and Hornets tipping off for you here in about an hour and a half. Now, for those that, if you're watching on DirecTV, if you have a TV service, if for whatever reason Sunday night baseball runs long, I'm going to bet ESPN's going to stay with Sunday night baseball. So you're going to have to go find that game probably on ESPNU. That's where the games or the consolation games are playing right now. So just a heads up. But there's your 2 top teams. The Kings, the 4 seed. They've already knocked out the 1 seed. Charlotte actually passed Oklahoma City in their 4th game, excuse me. Because of point differential. So again, Charlotte's coming off of their 2 biggest blowouts. They've been playing really well. Different guys, they're trying to get Con Knippel to get more involved shooting. I've heard that. But last game for them, it was all about one of their 2-way guys, Jalen Sims. He was 25 points for the game, 10 of 14 from the field. Also, Liam McNeely, you're going to hear that name. He is a 2-way guy for them. Ryan Cockbrenner. Yeah, I know. Go ahead. Throw your jokes in. He is a rookie out of Creighton who they are given a decent look to amongst some of the other players. So you can look at actually what Charlotte did last game. We'll go to that really quick as we get up in here and talk about this one. So what Charlotte did last game, IJ was massive for the Kings, 36 points. Do you keep going to that well? What are the rotations going to look like? My big thing here tonight is, can the Kings sustain? Well, let's put it this way. Nobody has been able to come back on Charlotte when they get up on you. So the last 2 games for Charlotte, first quarter against San Antonio, the Hornets were up 1. Second quarter, the Hornets were up 21. They went on a 34-13 run, and they were able to keep and it sometimes extend the lead. Last game, same thing. They were up 7 at the end of the first quarter, plus 10 at the end of the second quarter, plus 8 at the end of the third, plus 4 at the end of the fourth. And that is points by quarter. So can you stay with them? Can you jump on them? And can you be the only team that can come back on them? That's largely going to kind of depend on the Kings' 3-point shooting. The Kings' 3-point shooting has not been great the last 2 games. They started off 4 of 7 last game, but then they missed 11 in a row. It came back a little bit. And then their worst 3-point shooting game by far was game 4 where they won by 8 points. So I think this is going to be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it. But once again, it wasn't an 8. Oh, okay. Patrick is giving us the skinny. But first, we say what's up to J Cal. What's up, man? How you doing? By the way, why don't we throw this up? We'll give you the Kings numbers from last game as well. There we go. That's not what I want. I want the box score, yo. There we go. You want to check out what the Kings did last game. J Cal, how's it been, man? Get this championship, baby. Can I call in? Absolutely, dude. I'd love to hear from you. All you got to do, hit the link that's in the chat, or you can scan the QR code that's on the screen. Is it coming home for the third time? Those rings, though. Have you, somebody go look up. I heard one of the broadcasters say what exactly those rings are compiled of. It's a lot of diamonds. It's a lot. Those rings are probably worth, I don't know. I've got to think based off the description, $50,000 a piece.
I'm coming home.
So it's the third one, coming home. I think is that something new that they've done with the Summer League? Aaron's Burgers were so lucky OKC decided to trade their pick. Yeah, well, the Kings probably would have got back in. Back to Patrick's explanation. For years, you could send in a winning ticket by registered mail even before all the stuff that was going on. Okay, so if you're holding a plus 10,000, plus 8,000, plus 3,000 ticket, you might be really happy at the end of tonight. Neek got rock saying 25, 9 and 5. We'll see. Justin, so instead of a parade, everybody going to Bennett's to celebrate, we might be able to arrange that. Might be able to get a couple Stockton Kings there too. We'll see. Patrick, but once again, it was an $8,000 ticket. So yeah, there's going to be I get it. Patrick, and I know this isn't your fault. You don't decide these things. But when the post office asks if you want to add extra insurance, and I'm dating myself here because I know mail is kind of going, you don't have to go to the post office. You could print labels and do stuff from home. But when you're like, yeah, you know what? I'll put like maybe $2,000 of extra insurance on there. Okay, that'll be like 37. What? Crazy. Aaron, what's up, man? We hit that already. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Kings and Charlotte tonight for the Summer League Championship. Hoping, for this fan base, and I've heard it all week. I've heard Grant say it. Summer League title means nothing to me, and I get that. I understand that side of the argument. But for some of you that are basketball junkies, like me, you read between the lines of it. It means you're doing things the right way with your young guys. This is actually a pretty cool thing for Coach Dip as well. He's a guy that worked his way up with the Kings from a video coordinator all the way to Doug, choosing him to coach the Summer League team this year. He actually spoke to the media after yesterday's game. Why don't we take a listen to what he had to say?
Play for the Summer League Championship tomorrow.
No, it's great. It's a great feeling. I think the guys earned it. They've been working hard since the start of training camp, establishing the identity for us. And yeah, they've earned this right to be there.
Or just some takeaways from how you guys played today?
That was good. I think we attacked the pressure well in the first half, and then it got a little bit messy in the fourth. And those are the keys, take care of the ball and make them feel us. We wanted to try to get them to turn over the ball as well. But in the fourth quarter, we got to go back, look at the film, get better at taking care of the ball, because in the finals, it's going to be something like that too.
We just say about Isaac and how he played today.
Unbelievable. I said, welcome to the party. We know he has that in him, that kind of potential, and he was all over the floor when he was at the 4 and then when he was at the 5, just attacking the rim, making the right play.
What did you see from Neek today?
It was tough with Neek. He handled the ball. I liked how he brought up the ball against pressure. They do a hell of a job of just pressuring the ball. It was tough because he got in foul trouble, so very difficult to gain rhythm. However, he made some shots when he needed to, and I thought he was pretty good defensively when he was on the court.
And how do you feel like he's grown over the course of his time here at Summer League?
you can just see his comfort level has just gone skyrocket. You know, by game, if you look, it's like the first half of the first game, he didn't even want to look at the rim. And now he's just like, all right, I got it. Don't worry. So,
And what are the areas specifically that you want to see him focus on coming out of here, going into training camp?
the biggest thing is right now is defend without fouling. And I think he's done a pretty good job of it. It's just as that one game. But I think like just his ability to rebound and go. You know, don't look for a point guard. You are the point guard once you rebound and go.
Coach, we have about Isaac-Knowles. Isaac-Knowles. Well, what are you seeing from him so far? Isaac-Knowles.
Oh, just his ball pressure. Oh my God. Like once I put him in the game, you feel him right away. You know, I think he got like 10 steals in one G League game. And I just saw like once I put him in the game, I think 2-3 games ago, like immediate steal, and then we hit a 3 on the other end.
Yeah. What he has to do better to play more games.
Right now he's doing a great job. He's staying ready. He's got his low minute games, you know, and we just have kind of a rotation right now, and we're rolling with that.
I'm just sorry. Just one more question as a follow-up. He's well known as a defensive specialist, but offensively, yeah, do you think that he has like room for improvement?
Yeah, you know, but I think offensively he's pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets in the paint, he handles pressure well, and his vision is incredible. He makes skip passes that a lot of people can't make. So,
Great.
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
That close, and you know that nobody wants to lose, so we just have to compose ourselves, play some poise, and control the game.
What have you wanted?
So that was Coach Dip yesterday after the game. Again, this will be the first time the Kings play back-to-back games. Really should not matter too much. These guys have been rested throughout the last week and a half in Vegas. In fact, they were the only, I don't want to say they're the only team, but they were one of the teams that did not have any back-to-backs with their regular 4-game schedule before moving on to the semis. Looking at the rosters for both teams, you can check those out. Mars, what's up? Can Clifford be our Donovan Mitchell player picked out of the lottery that turns into an all-star player? You know, I don't remember watching Donovan in Summer League. I kind of remember when he started to come on the scene in Utah. He's not as quick. He's not as explosive as Donovan Mitchell, if you're looking for a direct comp there. But in terms of what he could be for the Kings, he is the best all-around basketball player that I have seen drafted to the Kings since Tyrese Halliburton. Yes. Best all-around player. Couple of reasons. You can't teach floor vision. The kid's got it. You take yesterday out of the rotation, he's been very composed. He even came back and hit a couple of threes after dealing with the foul trouble. The composure's there. And he's a guy that's played point guard his entire life. So there's a fluidity, there's a smoothness to Neek's game. And there's also something to me that just makes me as a fan or me as somebody covering the team, like, I want to know more about that guy. I want to be around that guy. Like, he's just got that energy. He knows his spots already. You can see that. And if a defender is in his spot, he can still get there and he can hit him with a couple of different moves. You've seen kind of that baseline. He'll take a jab in and a little bit of a fadeaway turnaround. He loves that shot. The fact that he can knock down an open 3. I think Nate Clifford could be a very special piece for the Kings. Now, let me give you the other side of it. He should be playing a little bit better because he's older. He played out, I believe, or almost played out his eligibility in college. But his body is ahead of schedule in terms of NBA bodies. Is he 23, I think? Corrects me if I'm wrong. He's ahead of schedule there. Keegan Murray was not where Neek's at body-wise, but you've not had a king. I would probably say remove Domas. I don't know that you've had somebody that has the floor vision that this kid does. Just natural. The game is not too fast for him. So we'll see. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to be durable. Defense, that's another big question mark. Is he going to be able to defend? And he's kind of in that middle, and that's why there's such a big conversation, ambiguous conversation going on about what his position's going to be, because at the 3, he's undersized. At the 2, he's just not a natural 2. I mean, he's really kind of a bigger point guard. So the way the Kings go with this will be very, very interesting. But you got plenty of time to let that kind of play out, and you can go from there. But if I had to, and I said this with Grant, he agreed with me, he's the closest in terms of fluidity, smoothness, and again, court vision and game awareness. He's the closest the Kings have had since Tyrese Halliburton. So I'm not putting a comp of Tyrese Halliburton on him. I'm just saying that trait that you can't really teach is clearly there with this kid. And he's got his head on straight too. And he should, in terms of working with the media. And this is somebody that probably was making somewhere in the range of, I would think, $50,000 to maybe $250,000 in NIL at Colorado State, my guess would be. So yeah, it's a different game, but you can see he's clearly ahead of schedule. And Max, he's kind of in that Keegan Murray category for me. The skills are there for a big man that you want to be able to stretch the floor with. The size in terms of the height is there, but I think you got to put him on the Keegan Murray weight plan, the development plan in terms of his body, and you'll really know what you have there. So we'll see. Dennis, and that's the thing. We get to the plus minus because Neek had a better plus minus than Mason and Max. Cool. Looking at the current roster, will Clifford be subbing? See, we're all kind of on different islands when it comes to our opinions on this. If the season started tomorrow, and by the way, we should acknowledge this is going to be your last squeeze of the towel to get one drip left out of it of basketball, because you will not have basketball again at the NBA level until training camps open up. But if the season started tomorrow, I would envision, and this is where it gets hairy. It's like, what about Keon? Right? And so defense, that's going to be the big question mark. If he can play a 3, then he'll probably come in at the 3 for DeMar. And I know DeMar's more of a 2. If he's really pushing the pace and making good decisions with the basketball, you could bring him in the backcourt with Malik Monk, I think, off the bench as well. What this does, though, is makes it very difficult to find any playing time for Devin Carter. I think that is going, unless it's in spots and it's for specialty defense, you need to get more pressure. You need to change the game. The Kings are just being lazy, and Devin's not going to do that. He's going to crash the boards. But I think we can all agree the Devin Carter point guard experiment has not worked yet. Now, it's not fair to give up on Devin Carter off of he's not even had a full season of NBA under his belt. This is his first summer league, even though he's a second-year player. And then on top of that, he was drafted by a different front office that had a different idea of how to use Devin. And certainly it looks like the Kings and Scott Perry have a singular idea of how Devin is going to have to get himself on the floor, and that's playing the point. He's not there yet. And I know he's put a ton of work into it with his dad, and it goes back for me to with point guards. Jerry, who's on with us every Tuesday, I asked him, he said, are point guards made or are they born? And he agreed with me. The great ones are born. Now, I'm not saying Neek's going to be a great one, but if there is one position on the basketball court that is the most difficult to learn and be natural and excel at it, it's point guard. It's why you don't see guys that play 4 years of football and then come into the NBA at the point guard position. You might see him at a power forward or vice versa, guys that play basketball. That's an easier adjustment at the tight end position. You don't see them go play quarterback. You got to know what everybody else is doing on the court. And so it puts you in a weird spot with Devin Carter, because how do you give up on a guy like that that's going to have a good run in the NBA? Not saying he's going to be an all-star, but rotationally, very much. Who knows what the offensive end develops into? But if you play him in his natural position, at least I think a Davion Mitchell. Acknowledging Davion's a point guard, but I'm saying he needs to go around to a couple of different places in his legit position, probably. And it doesn't look like, at least for now, it's going to be in Sacktown. So could he be on the way out? Maybe. You've heard Golden State might be interested in Keon, who's not interested in Keon. He's a universal piece. He fits in with every other team in the NBA. So yeah, it's a tough ask of Devin. And here's the question: is he still hurt? Peter puts in, it was a very odd interview that he had after the Kings' first game in Summer League. He made it pretty clear that his shoulder was, he had tweaked it in a scrimmage before before Summer League started. And he had an ice pack on it, but it was it was like chumming the waters for all the reporters, which they did. Just ask a minute and a half of questions about his shoulder, and it followed a game that he was 3 for 13. So it was just kind of a weird little thing. I would guess his shoulder's still a little sore. I would guess that. It's only been a week and a half, but I don't know. I'm not him. I mean, it shouldn't be sore enough to where it's affecting his game. If it is, sit him down. It's Summer League. There's no reason to keep playing him. You've got plenty of other guys. And Isaiah Stevens is a two-way guy now for the Kings. He's looked better at the point because he's a natural point. So I feel bad for Devin. It's a lot of pressure that's been put on him, but on the flip side, it is professional sports. It's a different ball game. It is a business. If you need a guy to play a position, and that's the way they're going to fit in, then that's the way it's going to be. If that's the way your front office and your coaching staff sees it. And I guess the thing we talked about Friday on the Kings court, and then we'll kick to IJ, who had a big game last game, was this: Scott Perry sees this team as a defensive team, theoretically, as he's the GM and he wants to build this out. That doesn't mean it's going to be a defensive team this season. It can't be a defensive team this season. You lost that chance with Jake LaRavia going out the door. In fact, if I'm Devin Carter, I'm praying Jake LaRavia stays in Sacramento, because then by default, you almost have to look at playing a Devin Carter, Keon Ellis, Jake LaRavia type of rotation, Keegan Murray, where all of those guys can switch. Pretty much your guards 1 through 3, 1 through 4, Jake and Keegan can switch 1 through 5. Now you have a rotation that is a legitimate defensive nuisance. And now it's like, yeah, not so much. Do you want to get there? Sure, but it's not going to be now. They need guys now at certain places. So tell me what you guys think, gals and guys. Think about Devin's point guard play. Most of his scoring, he's had a couple of pull-ups, but most of his scoring has come off the ball, where he's coming off of a screen. He's just not as comfortable at that point guard position. I can't blame him. That is a very difficult one to pick up. Very difficult. That was not why the Kings drafted him. So here was IJ. After last game, we're getting you ready, setting you up for the Kings and the Hornets coming up at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Thanks for being here on If You Don't Like That. Isaac Jones, 36 points last night. Can he do the same tonight? Talked to the media yesterday. Here's what he had to say.
Just showcase and improve upon as you gone on throughout this summer league.
Definitely making quicker decisions than I used to, and staying aggressive, because I feel like that's the biggest part of my game. And I know continue to work on my 3-point shot, and eventually it'll come.
That's South Sheet.
Too many missed free throws, too many turnovers, not enough rebounds.
Have you seen Neek's game grow since coming here for summer league?
I always thought he was a pro right off the bat. I remember just watching him in college, but I think he's learning to control his pace a little bit more, scan the floor, and just affect the game. Like today, he wasn't scoring as much as he did, but you can still feel his presence.
What's it been like getting to know him off the court?
Great dude, great kid, wonderful kid. Somebody you always want to hang around with. He's really humble and continue to keep us.
How exciting is it to be playing for a summer league championship?
It's crazy. We got a G League one, so we definitely need this one. But it just shows how hard we played, how much work we put in, and how bad we want it. So we're just happy to be here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So that was Isaac after yesterday. Singular mindset of this team. They're experienced. The floor for many of us was the semifinals before summer league started. Jerry Reynolds on last Tuesday, said that when we talk again this coming Tuesday, the Kings would be summer league champions. They are favored tonight by 2.5. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. This is a good question. Karen, I wonder if Sacktown will light the beam tonight if the Kings win. That would be an interesting. I mean, some of us can light if you have one of the beams they gave out, you could light that at home. But, maybe they do something with the spear, Karen. I bet they would do something with the spear for whoever wins Summer League. It's going to be a big hornet. It can't be a big beam if it's the Kings. It'd have to be something else. Be interesting. Yeah, they do. They've got a couple of second-year guys. Again, Con Knipple is going to be the guy. Jalen Sims put up 25 yesterday against Oklahoma City. This is important to remember about Charlotte. The last two games, the game that determined who would be in the Final Four of Summer League, in their semifinal game, they're coming off of their two best games of the summer, hands down. Yesterday, they won by 29 against San Antonio, and they played two of the better teams. Actually, San Antonio would have been in the Final Four had the point spread not been as wide as it was between them heads up. Actually, no, they couldn't be in the Final Four. Scratch that. Sorry, that's inaccurate. They were both undefeated, but San Antonio's net rating was higher than Charlotte's. So theoretically, statistically, they were playing much better. But Charlotte, their big thing in these last two games has been big runs. And they usually go on them right around the end of the first quarter into the second quarter. They had a 34-point run against San Antonio, 34-13. Last game, it happened in the second quarter against Oklahoma City. Charlotte ended up 7 after 1, and then at the halftime, they were up 17. So can the Kings have a hot start? You need that again. And one thing, Charlotte, I'll give them credit. When they have gotten up against their last two opponents, nobody has come back. They've got within like 15, 17, and then the lead pushes out. So everything kind of surrounds their top pick, number 3, Con Knipple, and then you've got their second-year players. I think the Kings have the size advantage, but my big question that I'm asking tonight is who's going to cover Con Knipple? What's that going to look like? The Kings can't give up 23 offensive rebounds. They cannot turn over the ball like they did in the fourth quarter. The Kings had 10 what was the number? Let me grab that so I'm accurate with all y'all. In the third or through 3 quarters yesterday, the Kings had 10 turnovers for 18 points. In the fourth quarter, the Kings, this fourth quarter alone, 10 turnovers for 14 points. I don't think the Hornets bring as much pressure as the Kings faced against Toronto. That was kind of Toronto's thing. In fact, I think that's probably, if I had to look at the matchups, I think Vegas is saying, well, Nate Clifford has had a couple of down games. He didn't play well last game. You know he's probably going to bounce back from that. The Kings have shot the 3 ball poorly the last 2 games compared to the rest of the tournament. So they'll probably be a little bit better there. But when it comes to the baseline to baseline pressure in the defense, I don't think Charlotte is used to that kind of pressure. So that will be interesting to measure. I think that is how Vegas got to a minus 2.5, or at least if I was making the odds in Vegas, that's how I would get to the Kings at 2.5 point favorites, considering, again, Charlotte's coming off of a 29 and a 25 point win against 2 teams that would have been or were in the Final Four here in Vegas. Lighting to beam, we're getting a lot of that. Let's see, Charlotte, we already hit that. Dennis talking about the rankings. Yeah, you got to take them with a grain of salt, though, because a lot of guys did not play. A lot of guys only played a game or 2. And then you've got New Orleans, man. Their guy goes down. That was it. Joe Dumars, after putting it all in with that first round draft pick that's unprotected next or this coming draft. Holy bleep. We'll see how that pans out. Hopefully he's supposed to be reevaluated 3 months from now, which is well after start of training camp. So anyways, getting off track. A lot of NBA. Last NBA you will have until the Kings head to training camp. So all right, predictions. What do you think? Are the Kings bringing home the Summer League title for the 3rd time? Remember, the Stockton core that led them to a championship on the road in Game 3 in Osceola, Florida, will be playing in this game. So I kind of like the Kings' chances here. Mace is going to be – I think Mace is going to be a big factor tonight. But I think it's going to be a big Neek night for sure. That I think Neek is going to show out tonight as well. What do y'all have it? I see it both ways. I just here, as I said against Toronto, I said you have to get out to a fast start if you're looking at the numbers. Tonight, you can't get down double digits to Charlotte in the first half. The Kings are down double digits to Charlotte. It's going to be a tough way back. So where you at? Give me your predictions. We're going to get ready to wrap up here in a few minutes because I want to get it home in time to watch this one. Peter says, yep, Summer League champions. Says it's coming home.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
What's it going to be? John Elmore, who's on the team, hasn't played a lot of minutes, part of that G League championship team.
Great vibes today.
Sitting there loose.
We're here. We're ready. We're locked in. Bunch of dogs.
And by the way, I know some of you are holding tickets because you've reached out to me on the X. Some at plus 3,000, some at plus 8,000, who had the foresight to put the money down on the Kings. Vegas, you want to talk about their biggest mistake? How they had the Kings. Like, somebody didn't do their homework. And I legit mean that. There's going to be, and you probably didn't have a lot of bets come in on the Kings, but you know whoever is the manager of the odds makers is going to take a big issue with the Kings being at the bottom of Summer League at plus 10,000. It was obvious as day. With the rest in between games and 4 guys coming off of a G League championship team that just won it? Come on. Including the MVP of the finals on that team and 2 first-round draft picks. The unknown was Neek and Max. The unknown was Neek and Max. So speaking of the Stockton guys, we'll go to Mason Jones, who spoke to the media yesterday, and then get your score predictions in because we're going to wrap up after that. Here was Mace.
Just taking it each quarter at a time, just seeing what we did in the first quarter and seeing what we did in the second quarter and see what we did in the third quarter. And that fourth quarter, we knew it was going to be hard. We knew Toronto was going to give us their last little run, and they did, and we just was able to waver. We came out to dub. But it started off with the
way we was able to come out in the first quarter, second quarter, we knew they was really a slow team to come out. We knew we needed to take advantage of that, and we did.
And what were the keys to getting you in rhythm and being able to really get going there?
Just continue to like, this is one of the roles where I see myself playing in the NBA. So just continue to take minutes like that and continue to take opportunities. And today was another opportunity to play a different role, coming off an injury, and I did that. And I knew the team needed me, and I knew the team wanted me to step up, but the team also stepped up. RJ played amazing. The team played big stops, and we all played together as a team.
Where are you at in your recovery?
Just taking it day by day. You know what I mean? Just continue to get treatment. Joel is doing an amazing job. The whole treatment team is doing an amazing job. So just continue to take it day by day. Try to be as ready, be as prepared as much as possible tomorrow.
And what's it been like teaming with Nate? What have you seen from him in terms of his growth since he got to Summer League?
Oh man, every day, ever since the first day I seen him when he first came to Sagan to now, he's very professional. He takes every day serious, and that's what you got to do, especially as being a rookie. You never know what's going to happen. You never know you never know what's in your control. So just the fact that he just comes ready every day and work hard and continue to show what he can do is very professional.
And what's it been like getting to know him off the court?
Oh man, to be honest with you, I'm still trying to learn off, because we all just so quiet guys, and off the court everybody like to do their own things. But me and Nick is always seeing each other, and we always chopping it up. And hopefully I got more time with him after this. But just taking it day by day and continue to see what he like, what food like, and just taking him out to dinner.
Love Mace. By the way, this is not just for Mason here in Sacramento. This is a massive night for Mace. Jerry and I both agree that he is on the NBA's radar. Now, not on the radar like you're going to trade a first-round pick and build your team around him, but he's on the NBA's radar. So with the backlog of guards on this roster, you don't know if it's going to be Devin Carter that gets traded, doesn't play, stays on the roster. But there's probably, and it kills me to say that, with Neek showing the ability to be able to handle the ball, I don't know if there's that role for Mace, because Mace is going to have to be on a standard contract. He can't be a two-way again. He can go back to the G League, but he can't be a two-way. This is an opportunity for him again, which he already showed against Osceola in the G League finals, to show that he is ready for the responsibility. And funny enough that some of you guys know this story, but just a couple of days, it was less than a week after the Stockton Kings won the G League championship. And I was on my way to Dallas, and I took the early morning flight, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do the coffee. I'm going to try to sleep on the plane. And if you've ever been around Mace, dude's energy is just contagious. You can't help but just meet him at that level of energy and smile. And I feel somebody like tap me, and it was Mace. He was on the same plane, and it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, going to Dallas. What are you doing? Going to Dallas, So I'm like, well, there goes my sleep. But what was funny is when we were walking out of the airport, we were kind of talking. That was like the only week and a half he had taken off, and he was still doing some stuff in Dallas, but he was in yoga. He was working out days after a Stockton championship. But I'm telling the story for this reason. As we were parting ways, he's like, yeah, I'm focused on bringing a championship to Sacramento. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I love the ambition. I love the drive. I love and with a dude like that, you don't question whether they could find a way. They could find a way. So ironically, Mace, you might be bringing a Summer League trophy back to Sacramento, the third one. He would be ironically keeping his word about bringing a championship to Sacramento if the Kings win tonight. Kings 2.5-point favorites against the Charlotte Hornets. Already kind of laid out the keys to the game for y'all. We will not be back. So contagious. Look, James, we've got the next month, the next 6 weeks to kick that around. We can kick that around all we want, because after tonight, the NBA goes into a dead period. The executives, the players might, but usually start working out, turning up the workouts, unless you are at Summer League. If you're at Summer League, you'll take a little bit of time off. But it's a dead month for the NBA until about a week and a half before training camp starts. So we have got plenty of time to chop that stuff up. A lot of us just excited about the opportunity again for the Kings to win a league record 3rd Summer League title. And as I started the show, I'll end it in the same place. My investment in this, I mean, one, I'm very happy about Neek. I'm happy about Max. I'm actually impressed with Scott Perry and what he did getting into the first round, and then drafting a 2nd-round player that fit all of the characteristics, including age and experience that Scott talked about the night after the first round. So I'm excited to see them. I mean, it's not like they're going to change the season dramatically, but what I'm most excited about is if the Kings are able to win this, and even if they don't, but I do think that they will win the Summer League championship for a 3rd time, it speaks directly to one of the most important things to this new era of the NBA under the CBA, which is scouting, drafting, and developing. Hands down, the Kings, this will be a slam dunk on the fact. In fact, I won't even say top 5 anymore. I will say top 3 team in the NBA in identifying talent that's undrafted, making trades for said talents that may have been drafted late in the 2nd round, all stuff that you don't hear about with the main team because it's all Stockton kind of transactions, and being able to develop guys that nobody else wanted, that didn't see the same thing. The Kings 2 years ago in the G League were in the Western Conference Finals. This season, they win the G League championship. Then you turn around and win a 3rd possible Summer League title in that same summer. Telling you, that's big stuff for the development and the scouting side. It's huge. It's absolutely. Did I just do that? It's huge. It's the best, grandest thing, biggest thing you've ever seen. Anyways, sorry for that. I don't know where that came from. It is a huge thing. And that speaks to a lot of the faces and the names that you do not hear much about. So go Kings, light the beam, key to the game. Again, key to the game. You can't let Charlotte get up double digits in the first half. The unknown of the game. Can Charlotte play from behind? I want to know that. That means the Kings have gotten out to a hot start. And then also kind of my wild card is if Devin Carter is off through Vegas, if he's off, he doesn't get onto it. He doesn't get hot. He has a bad shooting night. If he's on, it's a different story. He has a decent shooting night. He was 10 of 13, bouncing back from a 3 of 13 game. So Devin Carter, what's that look like tonight? Is he going to be forcing shots? If he's not making shots, are you going to try something different? Because you're going to push the chips to the middle of the table for this. For Charlotte, Con Knipple, obviously a big name that you need to know about. We've gone over a few of them. Jalen Sims. No reason to keep going over them. You'll hear about them on the broadcast. But at the end of the night, I think those of you holding those tickets, you are about to make a lot of money on those tickets. And more importantly, as Sacramento Kings fans, y'all be lighting the beam headed into training camp with a good taste in your mouth and, something to be excited about. Don't go too crazy with it. The Kings, I don't want to see Kings tickets to win the NBA championship, which are probably like crazier if the Kings win this, but have fun, enjoy it. Don't let anybody poo-poo your party. It should be fun. I'm going to leave you with Mason Jones because right about now, I think he's probably getting ready to give one of these speeches to the team. Just who he is. This was Mace after the Stockton Kings won the championship. We played it earlier. You just love the dude, love his energy. But thank you for being here. Make sure you come back tomorrow, Kings Court, 3 o'clock. We will recap the entire game. I'm sure Grant will probably be here tomorrow night. Keep an eye on our socials, or just make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. That'll let you know when we are on or we are off. But normally we are on. So, and then again, Tuesdays, Jerry Reynolds Tuesdays around here on the King's Court. If you've not been a part of those before, I hand it over to my man, Mason Jones. Here we go. It's coming. Don't worry. Here's Mace really quick.
Go Stockton!
Forgot about that one. That's such a good drop. Go Stockton. All right, Mace, where you at? Need to quit moving my drops around. We'll just leave you this one. How about a celebration? All right, go Kings, light the beam. Kings-Hornets, 7 o'clock.
Woo!
Court dismissed.
Order in the court.